Hello all. Today we are starting with new topic that is generic process framework. Now last lecture we have seen what is capability maturity models and why it is important. The CMM levels are important so that it tracks the progress of a development of a given software. Like as to whichever models you are using, what level you have reached, how much part of it you have achieved, what milestones are covered, like that. Today we'll see a general process framework. As I said, this is just a framework. In the sense, this is just used as a reference. So let us have an idea of what this reference model or say process framework include in it and how software models are built on it. So this is a diagram for the generic process framework. We have the software processes, we have process framework activities, then we have umbrella activities. So these are the set of activities which are given, like framework activities for so and so things for model 1, then so and so things for model 2, and so on. So let us study in detail what are these five activities of generic process frameworks are for. The five activities includes communication, planning, modeling, construction, and deployment. Now, first and foremost important thing for any software development is communication. You have to communicate with your customers, with your clients to gather requirements, to know and have insight knowledge of what they want and what they are expecting. Next is planning. Planning is where you make sure that whatever the customer needs are like you are trying to cope up with that, you are trying to fulfill that with your software development. In short, you are trying to create a map, or say you are trying to create a plan that is describing the task, risk, and resources, work products, and work schedules. Like how much time it is going to need to build the software, what is the budget, is it going out of the budget, will we require extra resources, will we require extra human resources, and so on. Next is modeling. See, once you have done planning stage, modeling is where you create a prototype or where you have blueprints of the actual development. For example, whenever we build a building, we have a blueprint for it as to have a knowledge of what the architecture of the building will be like. So modeling is nothing but a blueprint of the software development. Next stage is construction. Now, as we know that once you are done with planning, modeling, the next step has to be implementing those things. So that implementation stage is nothing but construction, where using the data from the previous two stages, you are trying to generate the code and then you are testing the code before handing it over. The last stage is deployment. Deployment is nothing but the stage where you are giving that software ready in hand to the users, to your clients. These clients will then evaluate the products and give you the feedback accordingly, whether it is correct, whether they are expecting more, whether it has become very complex, or they are happy with the product. So these were the five important activities of your generic process framework. Now, these framework activities can be used anywhere regardless of the applications. Like however easy your project be, however complex your project be, whether it is small in size, large in size, it doesn't matter. ये जो generic process के activities है, these are common to all type of softwares. In fact, these are iteratively used as the project improves or say as the project progresses. So ये ऐसा one time task नहीं है. At every level of your project, these things are going to happen, because it may not happen that the client will give you all the requirements at once. It may happen that एक बार मीटिंग हुई, they have given their requirements, then 10 days later they realize something, that they want to add up something or they want to delete something, so they will again communicate, then you again have to plan and model accordingly and then construct and again deploy. So that's why we say that these activities are iterative in nature. So until and unless the final software product is developed, these activities will be carried out continuously. Next are the umbrella activities. Now, in the diagram, we have seen that there is umbrella activities mentioned over here. So, what are these umbrella activities? These umbrella activities are nothing but the complements of the framework. Like the side by side, जिसको हम बोलते हैं कि side by side एक चीज चलती रहती है, where we can track the project, whether it is going correctly or not, whether it is being managed correctly or not, or whether it is possible to control the project or it is going out of hand or what. So these umbrella activities are nothing but it complements the five process framework activities, which help to manage and control progress, quality, change, and risk. So let us go through these umbrella activities. It says First is software project tracking and control. So as I said, it is used for tracking and control to assess the progress, to take any decisions if necessary, and to control. That is to maintain the schedule, controlling maybe controlling the time that within restricted time you have to do it, controlling the budget that within the given budget you have to do it, and so on. Next is the risk management. Risk is nothing but where you are trying to check that may affect the outcome. Like if it is going out of budget, so you are using a cheap material or say an average material. So whether it is hampering the performance, it is affecting the performance of the software or so on. If you are going it late by 10 days, by a month, so whether it is going to affect badly or not. So that all analysis comes in risk management. Next is software quality assurance. Sorry. Quality assurance defines and conduct activities to ensure quality. In the sense, see, these things we'll study in detail because each single chapter is made for these umbrella activities. In short, I'll just explain. Quality assurance is where you perform test inside the team. Like there is a special group of experts who will come and assess the software to make sure that it is a good quality software. Like it is intended to, the way it is intended to work, it is working that way. That's it. Technical reviews are nothing but when you have been assessed for the software you have developed, then these assesses the work products to uncover and remove errors. Like kuch gadbad hai, kuch correct nahi aa pa raha hai, somewhere it is being slow, performance is hampered. So ye sara feedback jab aata hai, that is nothing but your technical reviews. Next is measurement. Measurement, it defines and collects process, project, and product measures to ensure stakeholders' needs are met. Measurements in the sense it makes sure that everyone is happy, be it stakeholders, be it project managers, be it owners, everyone. To make measurement in the sense that everyone has invested and the things are completed in time and everyone is happy with the final development because it is making business in the market. Next is software configuration management. Software configuration management is to managing the effects of change throughout the software process. As I mentioned, that communications and that framework activities like planning, modeling is an iterative process. So it may happen that you have developed the software and halfway down the line you are ready to go. But in between, there are some changes that has to be accommodated. So you have to make sure that the changes will not affect the entire software that has been developed till date. Next is reusability management. Reusability is where you're defining the criteria for work products reuse and establishes a mechanism to achieve reusable components. In the sense that whatever techniques you have used, document it, save it somewhere, try to remember it because you may have, it may happen that you may have similar applications in future. There is a part of code or there is a part of a method which can be used again and again. So in in times when there are needs that you have similar applications, so you don't have to waste so much of time again finding that techniques or methods. So once you have done, if you properly define that criteria, if you properly save it in a organized manner, then the codes can be reused and hence the time is saved. Work product preparation and productions. Create work products such as models, documents, log forms, and lists. जैसा बोला था, reusability is possible only if you have documented forms, log forms, and all in the like soft copies or hard copies where you can check it whenever you want, when you can assess it whenever you want. So these are the umbrella activities. Next is adapting a process model. So next slides, we are going to see what are different process models. The question is, how do you decide what process models to be used? Again, that depends on application to applications. The process models are same through all the stages. It is just that which application has to be developed in what time and what budget and what resources we have. Depending upon that, we select a or say we adapt a process model. Now, we have seen that a generic process model is nothing but a set of activities, umbrella activities for project tracking, scheduling, risk control, quality assurance, and all. But the question over here is how these framework activities and the actions that occur within each activity are organized with respect to sequence and time. Like we are talking ki ye